Now, next question is about the life of students, student life in India. Now, what do you think is the current problems that students are facing in India?
The online classes, as far as the students are concerned, and because of the COVID thing, they have started alienating themselves in in all every time they're onto systems, and then they're onto screen, and they are unable to go out to play with their friends. So somehow or the other, I think their mental health is getting affected because of this crisis, because they don't have any space to to shout, to share, to carry out to speak their feelings, to hug with their friends, and also all these things they have been missing for the last 2 years. So that is, of course, a challenging situation for the students in I think it's not only in India, but then in many countries.
Ms. Chatterjee, if I understand correctly, was this peace education conducted only online throughout the 2 years? Because in Korea right now we have also offline classes as well.
No. In India also, we have recently, for the last 4 to 5 months, the option was given for the students that they can come to school, but then that too, it can't be made compulsory. Option has been given. And because children are not vaccinated, so parents are also not sending the children to school. So it is a hybrid mode, online, offline together. And very few of them are coming to school. So this is what is the case here.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterjee. Now, peace education, as I think you have already mentioned in previous answer, that it's something that cannot be exactly measured like other subjects. Like it cannot be really tested. And it's something that you just have to see for yourself in actions, changes, behavior, the attitude. But being a class that has been online for 2 years, how were you able to see this outcome, actions of students?
It is not something to be judged upon, or we need to assess and then they have to give an exam. No, this kind of thing is not possible in this sort of education. But then yes, as teachers, we can every time reiterate, and through through a form of recall, that you try to recall, and even we relate all these things in form of when we are teaching, while maybe teaching, this small reminders, if we keep on giving to the children, so that will really become it will come out to be a wonderful outcome, wherein all these things can be applied, and students can really understand the meaning of becoming true human being. They need to become human being, not good human being, not only as only good students. So that is the most important thing, and I think as teachers all of us can do, not only separately peace as peace education to be added on to the curriculum, but then yes, our curriculum is designed in such a way which aims for the holistic development of the students, right? So certain concepts, certain chapters, certain things are designed in such a way so that it naturally develops, it helps in developing the mind of the children. Their critical thinking and problem solving skills gets enhanced, their 21st century skills get enhanced. So this is how the entire curriculum is planned, and of course teachers are an integral part of that.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterjee. Now, previously, I know you mentioned about what is the uniqueness and the good points of this peace education of HWPL is. But more in depth, we want to know if you think there are something that is lacking from this program and that can be improved in the future.
Yeah, as far as HWPL, its program and peace education is concerned, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely superb. The way they are, conducting this program, it's really mind blowing. It touches the little minds, and then as students, they all are, their minds can be diverted very easily. So with this with this sort of positive instincts, with this kind of positive teachings, I think this is one of the most easiest way to mold the the mind of the students towards the positive, towards a peaceful direction, so that they can become a peace loving human being. And there, I don't think so anything where any areas which there where HWPL can do some improvement. It's absolutely, they're doing wonderful job. They should continue with this, which touches the lives of so many students globally.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterjee. Now, our next sequence of questions are more deep questions regarding peace. Now, we want to ask you, what do you think the role of educators are in terms of bringing peace in our future?
I think whatever we are talking about, those education and all, we need to focus on education, which I believe is enlightenment. Education is not something bookish knowledge, wherein we need to finish a certain given curriculum, certain given syllabus. But then, yes, enlightenment of mind is the education. And of course, if we talk about enlightened, awakening minds, then peace is something which cannot be denied. It is an indispensable part of education. And as an educator, I've told you earlier as well, again, I'm repeating the same thing, that as educator, we need to, our aim should be like that, we need to produce A plus citizens, not A plus students. So where humanity prevails, where we will live like human beings, and then this is only possible through education, wherein education has to be designed in such a way, the curriculum has to be designed in such a way that emphasizes on the moral values, on the development of the moral values of the students, of who are going to become global citizens. And this is how it is not only the teachers who are trained in peace education or not, but then all the teachers, they need to understand this. This is a basic thing of education. So, and if this doesn't happen, then I'm afraid all of us are aware about the consequences, that the world one day will be nowhere. So peace is something which is needed in order to save humanity, in order to save our world.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterjee. From your answer, I think I also agree that education and the role of educators are very critical when it comes to bringing peace in this world, because it's so important and it plays a significant role. Now, however, going into a reality, students, let me just take an example of Korea. Students and parents are very competitive in terms of educational system. And the major goal is to get into a good college, rather than some things that is related to morals or values of students. Now, I want to also ask you if the situation is similar in India, and what do you see, from your view, how do you see this reality where students are coming into educational system continuously competing with each other?
Yeah, we have a lot of competitions in college, in at getting admission in colleges. We are having very high cutoffs. So that is true. That is true for India as well. Society is evolving, right? So even as I've told you that NEP of 2020 focuses on the holistic development, and so it is working on the higher education as well. So a lot of the Indian government and then it's working a lot on other alternatives. They are training the children in special in other skilled skilled programs and all, wherein we are having a lot of alternatives. And the new things which are coming is that now they can choose right from the school level only. They can choose subjects of their own choice. I'll give you an example. If someone is very good in biology but they're not good in mathematics, so that particular child can opt for biology along with fine arts without taking mathematics, and maybe one subject of history. So like this, subject of combinations are coming up. It's on the pipeline, it's on its way. So a lot of improvements are being done, and then a lot of alternatives are being made, so that students get what they want. They get the chance to get the subjects of their own choice. So we are working on it. Policies and all is being framed by the government continuously.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterjee. It seems like both India and Korean, and I'm sure that other countries who focuses a lot on higher education, students are going through similar stress and similar life of students and everywhere. Now, my next question is somewhat related to the previous answer that you have gave. Before, you mentioned how students are willingly doing assignment for peace education. But do you think with other higher education and other subjects being competitive and need to get a good grade for get into better higher education, do you think that students are willing to participate more because there are no tests, there are no assessment, there are no valuing of how they are doing with peace education in terms of statistically? Do you think it has any effect on that?
Yeah, it takes time. See, as you have said, it's absolutely right, because there is no such assessment. There's no some, drafting of test items and all regarding peace education. So somehow or the other, it takes a back seat at times. But then I have, at the same time, I've shared you the experiences, the results, the responses of the students as well. So it takes time. See, this kind of things, which I believe is, definitely will work like magic with some time. When these children, when they'll grow up, they will pass it on maybe to the other younger generation, or maybe they are doing it right now, and they can pass it on to their younger siblings. So that group, when they'll come up, if they practice it, so this is how it will, I think it will become fruitful, it will become much more active, and this is how the things can be tested, with time is the factor, because right now they are not going to get any marks on this education, on this sort of training program, that making a poster on peace education, if you make it, you'll be getting 5 marks. So this is what they're not, because marks is something I've told you earlier also, that will not transform them. We need transformation. We need the transformation of the young minds. So that takes time, that will take time. And then with due course of time, maybe if they are onto the, if this sort of training programs are being given throughout their school life, then they will become better human beings. This is what I believe.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterjee. Now, this will be our last question of today. Now, there are people who still think that peace is not possible, or they see somewhat not positive towards peace because it's not technically they believe that it's not possible to make it into our reality. Do you have any messages that you want to deliver to those people?
For them, my message is that peace education is something which I believe should become an integral part of the curriculum, especially in the school. Reason being, as I have shared, that school is the second home of the children, and in the 3rd or 4th year of the life of his life, the child comes to the school, so that becomes his second home. The culture he gets in the school, that matters a lot, that changes his life. So peace, if apart from home what is going on, that's a different thing. But then if peace education is incorporated, is included in the school education, so definitely they'll turn up to wonderful human beings, right? And as far as HWPL peace education is concerned, their curriculum and their program is highly scientifically designed, with so very easy modules and videos, which easily can transform and can change the minds of the young students, which will again help them to become global citizens, to become good human beings. That is what is the ultimate aim of education. Education doesn't only aim to provide very good students, but then there is enlightenment of soul, enlightenment of oneself. So there, we should not depend only on bookish knowledge, but then we need, as a human being, the students should develop holistically. There should be an overall development wherein peace education, or this sort of moral education, should be a part in each and every curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterjee, for being with us today. I know we had a lot of questions, but your answers that related to peace education and reaction of students has truly inspired me, myself, and I'm sure it has for our audience. As today, especially this time, after COVID time, where teachers and students and parents also need to come together and also communicate more to better create this relationship amongst them, I think this interview content that you have given us today will be very helpful for those who are struggling with this. Thank you again for giving all this and also sharing the cases of peace education that is taking care of your school. Once again, thank you very much for being with us today, and I hope you have a great day.